Okay, so I probably sound like a broken record at this point because I think this is number 17.
This is my cat.
Now, everybody needs a daily driver, right? So, yes, the Integra's gone, and there's a very different silver car in its place. The Integra was a pretty good little car, and I've always wanted one, and I do love them, but unfortunately, it just wasn't the right move for right now for that car. It needed a few things that I just felt like I was a few too many dollars into the car for what it was, for what I wanted out of it, and I wanted to get back into rear-wheel drive. And of course, nobody does rear-wheel drive better, well, in some ways, than good old Bavarian Motorworks. This is my new to me 2004 BMW 325i sedan. Of course, it's manual. That's not even a question. You can't have 16 some odd cars and not have all but one, technically one and a half, be manual. I say half because the Nova was originally an auto when I first got it, but within like 6 months I swapped it. And the Ventura had a 2-speed auto. I just never got to change it. But, what can I say? I miss drifting. And I really want to get back into it. The BRZ was super, super fun to have as a daily drifter, but it was like a late model car that I'll be honest, I was making payments on, and I didn't feel comfortable continuing to learn how to drift and taking it on track and risking all that. So the original plan was to get a different daily, the Fiesta, and get a drift car on the side. Some life stuff came in the way, and I went, okay, so if I can get out of the Fiesta, which I was also making payments on, but much, much lower payments and such, then I'll get a cheaper daily and then use the money that I'm saving to get a drift car on the side. Well, more life stuff just keeps popping up, as is life, of course, for all of us. But this is hopefully going to be the new daily drifter. And this car is in super, super clean shape. There's obviously a couple dings here and there, like a couple little scuffs. It's got 193,000 miles, but that's actually less than 10,000 miles a year because this is, take a deep breath, a 20-year-old car, which is freaking ridiculous to think about sometimes. I just turned 30, and if that doesn't make you feel old, looking at a car that you think, oh, it's like a modern car, right? It is a modern car, fairly modern, in comparison to, other stuff. But it's a 20-year-old car now, and that's just crazy. But previous owner did a few key maintenance things, actually quite a few maintenance things. So engine and drivetrain wise, this thing hopefully should be money. He put some later model wheels on it. I do have these stock 325 wheels here that I'm probably going to use for drift spares, and these guys I'm probably going to be swapping out for something a little different for the street. They are 19s, and they look better in person than I thought they would, but they're 19s, they're really big, and they just don't quite fit the character of the car, but also they don't quite fit. They rub a little bit in the front here. As you can see, it's catching one of the edges of the fender here. But the interior is just as clean, if not cleaner, than the exterior. Previous owner also did things like actually an Alcantara headliner, which is pretty sweet, and some like carbon wrap and stuff. It's all real, honestly, nicely taken care of and clean in here. One of the first few things I'm probably going to be doing is the shifter bushings are pretty sloppy. Actually, getting it into fifth is like difficult to do. And the boot is fairly old. This is like an original leather boot, and it's really hard and stiff, and putting it into fifth actually stretches the boot so much that it kind of like pulls on the bezel. So I'm definitely going to be looking into some short shifter options. I also, while the NRG wheel isn't bad, I still don't know if I trust NRG, like strength wise. They're cool cosmetically, but I'm real big on like safety and stuff like that is important for a steering wheel like that. I've just seen too many of them get folded over, that sort of thing. They're not SFI rated or anything like that. So, which is weird because they have SFI quick releases now, but I don't think they have any SFI wheels. So I don't know. But also, I would rather have an airbag on a daily and maybe just pull a fuse for the track, than have something without it when the passenger side does have one. So I'm probably going to try to find, I have the stock wheel, the 4-point wheel, which I don't love. So I might find a sport wheel, the 3-spoke. I like those. Or we'll see. And otherwise, it's pretty much all stock. One thing that is not stock, other than the wheels, of course, is previous owner did some exhaust work. Yes, there's no muffler, and there's no resonators. It's just the little cut-offs in front of the axle there. So that is definitely going to need to change. It actually is not nearly as loud as you would think something like that would be. But it does make it sound a little bit trucky. This is a 6-cylinder engine, of course, and it just kind of makes it sound a little bit like a Tacoma. Not quite my cup of tea. Also, it's dumped onto the car, and sometimes you can kind of smell it in the car when you're on the freeway for a while, that sort of thing. The fumes kind of start to circle. So, otherwise, under the hood, all stock. Hood struts work. Everything is nice and clean. Really no complaints under here. It's even got washer fluid. So I'm gonna, poke around as I get into it a bit more and just kind of see if there's any other little maintenance things that it might need. Things like transmission and diff fluid might need to be changed out. No idea when those were done. And kind of see how it does. Now it does have, this is not like a big option car. I was looking for a 330i, but the market for those, for the ones that were local to me, they were a little bit high. And I really wanted to strike a balance between getting a car that was in good enough shape, gonna be a good daily and all that first, without spending so much money that I didn't have anything left over to do things that I want to it. There were a few cars that had like some mods, like actual drift mods and such, maybe a diff or a handbrake, that sort of thing. But maybe the maintenance was lacking, that sort of thing. So I kind of made the adult move and got the more reliable car. So yeah, stay tuned for this next automotive journey step with me, with the new daily driver. And like I said, I'm really excited to be back in rear-wheel drive, not just for daily driving, but for the track. I'd like to do maybe some autocross stuff as well. I hear they're going to start doing more local stuff, because for a while it was up at Lake Elsinore and it's like an hour drive. Now it's going to be like 20-minute drive. So we'll see how that goes. But thanks for watching.